Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, JZ Courtside, coming at y'all today on Friday, May 22nd. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's having a phenomenal start to their day. I hope your basketball team won last night. It's getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer when I say that. Slimmer and slimmer, considering we only have one game a night. Ladies and gents, I hope you guys are all doing absolutely phenomenal on this wonderful Frisky Friday. It's good to see y'all. Last episode of the week. So I hope you guys are here and you do enjoy. Today's episode's pretty self-explanatory, y'all. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm so excited for the offseason because I feel like the amount of stuff I can have on the agenda and on the plate to talk about, it's gonna be so different. I'm happy that we're in the playoffs right now, but I'm low-key getting a little bit depressed because the season's about to end. You know? I am excited for the offseason content. It's just sad that we're already getting there. My first full season of covering the NBA is almost done. But the offseason, like I said, it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And anything that happens that goes on or whatever, like trades or free agency, then if they're important, we'll obviously throw up Tuesday and Thursday episodes as well. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers Game 2 in Madison Square Garden. And that's pretty much it because nothing else has been going on. There's really no news to share. We'll talk about the game tonight, which we will not be hosting a watch party. That is the first day this week. We are now hosting a watch party, unless you guys want to host it. If y'all host it in the Discord, go for it. I just won't be there. Yeah, guys, I say let's just get right into talking about this game. I got a lot of fun takes and a lot of fun topics of discussion, and I think you guys will find it extremely interesting as well, especially my Knicks fans. Cavs fans, you guys might want to close out the stream and close your eyes, ears, and yeah, all that jazz. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks take game 2, 109-93 at home, and it was pretty much settled from their second half. They go up 2-0 in this series. Now, I got a lot of things that I want to say about this game. Like, I have a lot, right? Where can I start? Where should I start? You know what? I know exactly where I'm going to start. We're going to go ahead and start with the first quarter. Okay? We're going to start with the first quarter. I had to look at the box score and count a bunch of stuff and make sure I was accurate when talking about this. I'm going to go ahead and start with the first quarter. You guys are probably wondering, JC, why are you starting with the first quarter? Well, it's because that was the only quarter that I saw the Cleveland Cavaliers actually play basketball the way they did in Game 7 against Detroit. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at something very simple here. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and we were watching. If you were in the watch party, you remember this. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen took 11 shots in the first quarter. Now, as we all know, the Cleveland Cavaliers are at their best when they get their big men involved. They took 11 shots in the first quarter. You're probably wondering, they probably had like 40 shots attempted last night, right? What if I told you that they finished with 18 shots attempted between the both of them? They took 11 shots in the first quarter, and they only took, between the two of them, 7 more shots for the rest of the game. What are you doing? What was the game plan? Why did you think, hey, this is working? Okay, let's stop doing that. Let's start doing Harden ISOs again. Let's start doing Dennis Schroeder ISOs again. Let's just give it to Donovan Mitchell and everybody else just go to the corner. Now, there's a lot of storylines to talk about this game. That, I believe, is the most important storyline. They fed their big man. They took 11 shots in the first quarter, and then they only took 7 shots for the rest of the game between the two of them. Let's talk about a key thing that I always talk about with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their most crucial thing, and I feel like I'm talking about this with every playoff series, is limiting turnovers. Let's limit our turnovers and you will win the basketball game. Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers just committed their least amount of turnovers in a playoff game so far in these playoffs. They only had 8 turnovers, the same amount of the New York Knicks. Why did they lose by 16? Because in the game that they took the best care of the ball, they also had their worst shooting night of the entire playoffs. They shot as a team 38.8%. They shot from 3 25.7%. They had 18 more free throws than the New York Knicks. This ain't new to me. They were getting 25 more free throws than Detroit every single game. So this ain't news to me. They get free throws. But could you imagine they didn't get those free throws? They missed 10 of them. You're telling me they shot 38% from the field, 25% from three, and 68% from the free throw line. Let's talk about the other guys. Let's talk about the role players, ladies and gentlemen. You ready? Max Strus, 1 for 7. Where was that against Detroit? Sam Merrill, 1 for 8. Could have swore he scored 24 in the game 7. Dennis Schroeder, 2 for 5. Jalen Tyson, you should not be getting minutes, 1 for 4. Thomas Bryant, 0 for 1 in garbage time. So if the bench played that poorly, hopefully the starting lineup didn't play that poorly, right? Dean Wade, 1 for 3. Donovan Mitchell, 8 for 18, 2 for 7 from 3. James Harden, 6 for 15 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3. They went away from what was working. And that's what infuriates me as a non-biased fan. You got your two big men, 11 shots in the first quarter, and you were winning. And then you said, yeah, you know what? Let's just let Mitchell and Harden and Schroeder dribble the ball for 20 seconds every play. Bro, the most telling statistic is they had 15 assists. It could be because they missed a lot of threes, yes. But you know how you get your easiest assists is by setting up your big man. You're telling me you finished the game with 15 assists? You're telling me you traded for James Harden to be a playmaker and he had 2 assists? You're telling me that's who you traded for? Let's talk about this now. Do you guys remember when I told y'all, if Donovan Mitchell goes for 50, that's fine. Who cares? Because if he's giving you 50, that means he's not getting you any assists. So it's just his 50. That means you have to limit everybody else. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Donovan Mitchell went back to just being Donovan Mitchell. This is why he's only made 1 conference finals in his career. He had 1 assist last night. Donovan Mitchell, he had 1 assist. 1. He had 26 points, 1 assist. What do you want me to say about a team that doesn't play like a team? What do you want me to say? Nobody wanted Cleveland in the conference finals other than Cleveland fans. Nobody wanted this. And now they're in here, and you're allowing Donovan Mitchell to go for 26, but it doesn't matter. He could have went for 46, and the Knicks still win because he had 1 assist. You are the primary ball handler, and you have 1 assist. James Harden, you are the secondary ball handler, although last night seemed like you were the primary as well. You had 2 assists. Why did they trade for you? So I see the TikTok, right? And the guy in the TikTok said Mitchell was never known for assisting, and that's why Mitchell will never be known for winning. You cannot be a primary ball handler in the NBA today and not know how to pass and not know how to set up your teammates. Everybody wants to point fingers at Jared Allen, at Evan Mobley. Everybody wants to point fingers at them. Those two were the only guys that showed any sliver of heart last night. Anybody. Those two, honestly, Jared Allen, I hope you go to LA. I hope you get to play with Luka Doncic because you would thrive. You would thrive. Evan Mobley, I hope you go anywhere that is not Cleveland because you two are not the fault here at all. Jared Allen was still battling for the boards. Evan Mobley was still battling defensively while everybody else was just jacking shot after shot and dribbling for 20 seconds. I've said it all season long, and I'll say it again for everybody in the back that doesn't know. Donovan Mitchell is not a number 1. He's not. He's not a number 1. Somebody in the TikTok said, damn, you are a sorry Cavs fan. I'm not a Cavs fan. I have no dog in this fight. Well, TikTok, if you guys are enjoying today's show, be sure to come through to the Purple app. Jay-Z Uncut, get away from all the dumb fucks in the TikTok and come through to the Purple app, all right? Link in my bio. It's a much better viewing experience. We'd love to have you over here. So, what more can I say? Max Strus, 1 for 7. Sam Merrill, 1 for 8, 0 for 7 from deep. Dennis Schroeder, 2 for 5. Jalen Tyson, 0 for 3 from deep, 1 for 4. All you got to say is if your primary shot creator, primary shot maker can't shoot a three, or sorry, set people up for open shots, especially your big men, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay, now let's talk about another issue that was going on. Ladies and gentlemen, last night in my watch party, because we host watch parties in my Discord server, if you guys would like to join those, join the Twitch and then join the Discord. I was hanging out with my community last night watching this game, and I said something throughout that watch party, and like Purple app chat, you guys can attest to this. I kept saying all night, they are defending Josh Hart the way the Spurs are defending Alex Caruso, which means they're not. They're not defending Josh Hart. Just like Victor Wembanyama wasn't defending Alex Caruso in this series. And then after the game, in the presser, Donovan Mitchell was at the podium and he said, and I quote, "We were guarding Josh Hart like the Spurs are guarding Caruso, and it didn't work." I said that all last night. They are not defending Josh Hart because they'd rather double and help Harden on defense for Caruso. So I said that all last night. Donovan Mitchell goes to the podium and says exactly what I said all last night. And now I'd like to tell you this, right? We live in a day and age where basketball talent is through the roof. You have to pick your poison now. So you have guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that demands more than one guy. He's that good. One guy is not good enough to guard that man. So they dare Alex Caruso to shoot, and Alex Caruso's been making them pay. And in this game, Jalen Brunson is that good and demands that much attention that they have to just leave a guy like Josh Hart open and dare him to shoot. Well, you dared him to shoot, and ladies and gentlemen, Josh Hart came out and came to play, had his playoff career high last night. Josh Hart played 33 minutes. He had 26 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. He was a plus 18, 10 for 21 from the field, and he hit 5 threes last night. Knicks fans, you know how encouraging a game like this is? Jalen Brunson didn't do shit last night. Jalen Brunson, he played 40 minutes, but he didn't do anything. He did not tire himself out at all. Jalen Brunson basically had the night off. And his boy Josh Hart, he took care of business. Mikal Bridges, he took care of business. OG Anunoby, he took care of business. Karl Anthony Towns, he took care of business. Your best player only had to get assists last night. He had 14 assists. But the reason why he took it off is because they were throwing 2 at him, and he found the open man. We all know the most tiring thing in basketball is defending, which Jalen Brunson doesn't do, and shooting. If he wasn't shooting last night, and he wasn't defending last night, he had a good flop on a charge. Shout out Jalen Brunson. He's really good at flopping for the charging calls. So they called that. It wasn't a charging, but they called it. All he had to do was find his open man. And that is like the best game you want out of Jalen Brunson. That's the best game. Your teammates came and carried you. Mikal Bridges, 9 for 12, 19 points. I'll talk about Mikal Bridges in a moment. OG Anunoby, he airballed his first shot. Didn't matter. 5 for 8 from the field, 14 points. Karl Anthony Towns, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 7 for 12 from the field. Josh Hart, of course, we talked about him. Jalen Brunson, bro, I don't want any Knicks fan to get offended by me saying this, but he took an off night. He had 14 assists. He got to just spread the love. His teammates helped him out last night. What more can you hope for in a basketball game where your superstar doesn't need to go out and do what he did in game 1? He had 38 in game 1. You didn't want him to go for 38 again in game 2. And thank God. Thank God. Shout out Jalen Brunson, bro. Shout out his teammates, most importantly. They took care of their boy. He helped them. No, not helped them. He carried them to the win in game one. Teammates said, you know what? Hey, Jay, we got you tonight, bro. We got you tonight. And it paid off. That's exactly what they wanted. That's exactly what they needed. The bench didn't give them much. Landry Shamet didn't. He missed. He was 0 for 1. He barely got any burn. 15 minutes too, because Josh Hart was that good. Deuce, he was 2 for 9. Mitchell Robinson 2 for 2. I loved what Mike Brown did. He put Mitchell Robinson in the game just to get them in the bonus, and then took him out. That was a really good play. Mitchell, and then Jose Alvarado 0 for 1. This isn't a Jose Alvarado series. Jordan Clarkson 2 for 2. So my point being here is the Knicks won a game that they would have lost against any other team competent last night. This is a game that the Knicks lose, respectfully. It is. They scored 109 points. Their defense showed up for them last night. But I'll also be honest with y'all, man. The Cavs were just missing wide open shots. They were missing wide open shots over and over again. They were missing wide open shots. So whether it's fatigue, whether it's they gave up, whether it's whatever, I think we all said after game one, that was the Cavs series. That was the Cavs entire series. After they lost that game in the fashion that they lost it, that was the Cavs series, man. That was it. Shout out the Knicks. And I know the Cavs are 6-1 at home in the playoffs. So I'm not going to go ahead and say the series is over. I'm not going to do that. But I said Knicks in 6, giving the Cavs a little bit of credit. And I kept telling y'all, I regretted not saying Knicks in 5. They just don't have it, man. They don't have it. They don't have it. They don't have it at all. They don't have it at all. And that's obvious. That's obvious. If they lose game 3, it's over. No team has ever came back from a 3-0 deficit. Shout out the Knicks, man. They had a great game. And I have a couple points that I want to talk about. While we're on the Knicks topic, by the way, TikTok, if you guys are enjoying today's stream, be sure to come through to the Twitch. The Purple app, Jay-Z Uncut. We'd love to have you guys over here. Remember, if you watch 3 Purple app streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription. I'd love to see you guys come through. Okay, one thing I want to talk about is Mikal Bridges. I was telling the watch party last night how great Mikal Bridges has been since game 5 of the playoffs. Mikal Bridges in his last 9 games. Okay? Sorry, his last 8 games. I need to read you guys this man's stats, okay? Mikal Bridges has been averaging 17.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 3 assists in his last 8 games, okay? Get ready for this. He's shooting 67% from the field. 67% from the field. 48% from 3. And he has a 75% true shooting. I need to repeat myself. He's averaging 17.5 points while shooting 67% from the field, 48% from 3, and 75% true shooting. And I'll tell you guys this much. You guys know what I said. I said if the Pistons versus the Knicks, they were beating the Knicks in 7. They were. That was all. That was without this. That was without this. Mikal Bridges, he's doing it. He's doing this thing. Those picks are looking really worth it until the finals. We'll see. Let's talk about right now. Mikal Bridges has been amazing. Him giving this offense makes them virtually unbeatable. It really does. Because if you're getting your 30 from Jalen Brunson, you're getting your 20 from Cat, and you're getting an additional 20 from Mikal Bridges and probably another 15 from OG Anunoby, how do you expect to win a game? How? This is the X factor. And honestly, I haven't named him my X factor because I didn't think he was capable of prolonging this. And you would be lying if you said otherwise as well. 75% true shooting. Ladies and gentlemen, subtract the 3-point percentage. These are Jalen Duren numbers in the regular season for a forward. 67% from the field, 48% from 3, 75% true shooting. It's no surprise the Knicks are on a 9-game winning streak in the playoffs. 8 of them have had Mikal Bridges doing this. On top of all of that, his defense has been incredible. which we sort of said he took a step back on this year. It's been incredible. And, I do have to give credit to OG Anunoby as well. He's not really giving it to the Knicks offensively. They haven't really needed it yet. He's given Evan Mobley the work on defense. And that's probably the main reason they're not setting up Evan Mobley as much after the first quarter. Honestly, the Cavs are just dumb, bro. The Cavs are dumb. Kenny Atkinson's a moron. I hope they get swept so that they can just fire Kenny Atkinson. That would be the only way he gets swept. I can't reiterate this enough, but Evan Mobley and Jared Allen took 11 shots in the first quarter, and they took 7 for the rest of the game. One quarter, they took 11 shots. The final 3 quarters, they took 7. So, and then I also do. Oh man, why is TikTok reporting me, bruh? All right, TikTok, I'm ending that stream. I got reported for bullying and harassment. I don't know what I did, but TikTok, have a blessed day. We're still live on Twitch. All right, everybody. I don't know why you guys are reporting me. Must got some Cavs fans over there. All right. Or maybe Kenny Atkinson's in there reporting me. We're live on Twitch, everybody. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Link in my bio. Come to the Twitch, watch 3 streams in a row, and I will gift you a $6 sub. Live on Twitch, Jay-Z Uncut. Link in my bio. Okay, let's go ahead and continue this show. One guy I really want to talk about is James Harden. All right? That's one guy I really want to talk about. Okay, let's talk about big game James. Wrong James. That was James Worthy. But let's talk about big game James. It's getting worse and worse after every game, guys. It's getting worse and worse after every game. James Harden. I talked about this in the watch party last night as well. For the last 9 games. 9 games. So that's these 2 games against the Knicks and all 7 games against Detroit. Okay? Last 9 games. He's shooting 37% from the field. 28% from 3. 53% true shooting. All while averaging 4 turnovers a game. Now, he didn't have a single turnover last night. But I think that's just because they weren't passing to each other at all. We all know, don't give James Harden any grace. The longer the playoffs go, the worse Harden becomes. I said this before the playoffs started. I said this when they got the trade. The longer the playoffs go, the worse James Harden gets. I'm going to read this stat line again. 37% from the field, 28% from 3, and 53% true shooting. Okay? I don't know where the guy is that was in this chat talking about James Harden's the GOAT, James Harden's the GOAT, James Harden's the GOAT, whatever. Guys, if you are new to the Twitch, be sure to drop a follow. I know a lot of people are coming in right now. I just have to point this out that if he wasn't attempting 8 free throws a night, they don't beat Detroit. This guy's a cone on defense. Jalen Brunson or whoever gets him on them can do anything they want. They can get whatever bucket they want. They can score whenever they want. I saw him put in a little bit more effort last night, but it still wasn't enough. James Harden, man. I can't believe a team traded for him in 2026. I can't believe it. I can't believe that. James Harden, they would keep switching Tobias onto James Harden. Tobias can't guard James Harden even in 2026 because Tobias is old as well. Who was guarding James? It was mostly Cade. Cade was defending Harden. And whenever they'd get the switch, they would get Tobias on him. And then the only reason James Harden had a good series is because of the officiating, because he was attacking Duncan Robinson and Tobias Harris, so they were following him every time. That's why he was getting all those free throws. Thank you for the follow on the Purple app, bro. I appreciate it, man. Be sure to join the Discord as well. So, James Harden, off those averages, off those stats. Listen, y'all, if he continues shooting like this, the Cavs aren't going to win a single game. They're not going to win a singular game if he continues shooting like this. This is arguably one of the worst playoff. How many games have he played in these playoffs? He's played what? How many has he played? 18? 17? 17? He's played 17, I think. Or 16? 16. He's played 16. Yeah, he's played 16 games. And it only gets worse. It's only getting worse right now. But all in all, I've always said this team will go as far as Donovan Mitchell takes them. Donovan Mitchell, I don't know. I don't know what you guys want me to say about Donovan Mitchell without getting insulting, because you guys know me. This is not James Harden's fault that they're losing. This is not his fault. And I've said it 100,000 times. This is not James Harden's team to lose these games. This team goes as far as Donovan Mitchell takes them, not James Harden. So what is going on with Donovan Mitchell? Why does he not want to be aggressive? Why does he not want to pass the ball? Why does he not want to be the guy? People are saying he's hurt. He hasn't done anything in the playoffs. He has not done anything impressive in the entire playoffs other than one thing. And that was score 39 points against Detroit in the second half when guess who was out of the game because they were foul baiting? Asar Thompson. It's no surprise that being guarded by Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert, you can score 39 points on them when you don't have Asar Thompson on you. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. Cade Cunningham had 3 fractured ribs. We just found that out from our GM 2 days ago. He had 3 fractured ribs, and during that lung collapse, he had to sit on the couch for 14 days and do nothing. So his only ramp up was the 3 games of the regular season. So you guys can bring up any excuse in the world. If Donovan Mitchell has a little limp, the guy that they were up against last series had 3 fractured ribs. That Cade didn't even say. Our GM came out and said it in the presser, in the postseason presser. We didn't know that. And yet Cade Cunningham was still diving on the floor and doing all of this and being that leader. But Donovan Mitchell somehow, some way has conned a whole generation that he's a top 5, top 10. In my opinion, he is one of the best players in the league. I'd say a top 15. So he should be all NBA. But he doesn't raise the ceiling of his basketball teams. He raises the floor. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. But he raises the floor of a basketball team. These whole playoffs, he hasn't done anything impressive at all except for that second half. He hasn't. His defense is bad. His playmaking is atrocious. And he has not been aggressive. So whether he's hurt or not, there's plenty of players hurt right now. That can't be your one excuse. Chris, thank you so much for the follow on the Purple app. I appreciate you very, very much. All in all, I'm not going to be putting this blame on James Harden. I'm not going to be putting this blame on Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I'm not going to. Those guys, you guys are good in my book. The lights are not too bright. You guys are showing up and showing out. I'm not even going to be blaming Max Strus, Sam Merrill, Dennis Schroeder, Jalen Tyson. You guys missed your shots. But that's what role players do in away games. That's what they do. Role players always shoot worse in away games. A gentleman in the TikTok said, this guy does not know sports. Thank you for the kind comment, TikTok. I don't want to get reported for bullying and harassment, so I'm not going to answer you. If you guys are enjoying the stream in the TikTok, I assure you, you will enjoy the Purple app stream so much more. That's Jay-Z Uncut on the Purple app. I have to blame the man at the top of this team, and that's Donovan Mitchell. That's Kenny Atkinson. I don't know what they do from here on out. I don't want to talk as if the series is over yet. It is over. We all knew the Knicks were going to win. And of course, the guy in the TikTok who said, I don't know sports, said James Harden's the reason this team sucks. That's He said, I don't know sports, by the way. He said, I don't know sports, by the way. No, this team is Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and James Harden. That's how this team was supposed to be. Instead, it's turned into Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, and then everybody else. Now, I'm not here to excuse the bench for going 1 for 15 from 3. I'm not here to excuse that. There's not much you can do about that. I'm just unimpressed with Donovan Mitchell's playoff run this year. He's got the, I was listening to, what are they called? Numbers on the board. I was listening to Numbers on the Board the other day because I wanted to hear other people's opinions on the playoffs so far, right? And I couldn't believe what I was hearing because they fully agreed with every sentiment that I've said throughout these playoffs. What did Donovan Mitchell do to achieve this quote unquote playoff riser? What has he done? Score points? He has only scored points. I've told you guys this time and time again. Scoring points is not the most important thing to do in the playoffs. If you are the lead guy, you have to also be the guy to fall on your sword and give the ball to your teammates. He doesn't do that. His scoring the ball hasn't led to wins. It's sort of like Nikola Jokic. Can you guys do me a favor and go look up Nikola Jokic's team record when he scores 45 plus points or even 50 plus points? They don't win the games. Because if they have to score that amount of points, the other guys aren't getting going. How many points are they giving up on the other side? You can't do it by yourself anymore. It doesn't matter that you score 50 points in a playoff game. That does not make you a playoff riser. What makes you a playoff riser is playing your game and getting your teammates to play their games as well. He doesn't do that. That's why I said in the Detroit series, let Donovan Mitchell score 50. As long as you control the other guys, you win. Unfortunately for the Pistons, they didn't control the other guys. Plain and simple, man. So they're 24-11 in the regular season, but only 2-5 in the playoffs and scoring 40 plus. Yep. Because it doesn't lead to wins. I'd like to give a couple shout outs to the guys who left the TikTok and came through to the Purple app. My boy Real and Marshawn. Thank you guys so much for the follows on the Purple app. I appreciate you gentlemen very much. It's a much better experience over here, guys. Be sure to join the Discord as well. Exclamation point Discord in the chat. I'd love for you guys to come through and join the Discord. That's where we host watch parties and hang out with our community. We've hosted a watch party every day this week, except for today. But we will be hosting one tomorrow if you guys show up. I will not be doing it tonight, but surely you guys can as well. Remember, if you guys do watch your first 3 Twitch streams in a row, and let me know and share your streak, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription over here on the Purple app, all right? So there's your incentive, okay? That's pretty much all I have to talk about. That's pretty much all I have to say about this game. The series is not over yet. I saw this team go down 0-2 to the Pistons and come back. The Knicks are going to win. It's just a matter of how quick can the Knicks get it done? How quick? Seems as though they've got their rust off. Maybe not everybody. But I'm very interested to see how many games it's going to take. I predicted 6 just to be nice to the Cavaliers. But unfortunately, I wish I picked 5 because the Knicks are just dominating from every which way. This is the best Knicks team I've ever watched in my entire life. That's not a hot take to say. I mean, I guess I was 1 year old during the Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston 8-seed run, but we all know what happened in the finals. In case you guys don't know, that team, they lost to the San Antonio Spurs. Interesting. And I've told you guys plenty of times, if it's the Spurs in the finals, Knicks have a chance at winning. If it's the Thunder, they don't have a chance at winning. If they have J-Dub. If these teams are healthy, that's what matters. Health is extremely important. Anyways, I don't want to talk about hypotheticals. We all know the Knicks are making it to the finals. We all knew that going into the series. We all know that now. I wish the Cavs didn't get magnet ball in game 7, and I wish Adam Silver would have turned the magnet on for Detroit in game 7, not because I'm a Pistons fan, but because it would have been good for basketball. I think, to be honest, if we had Pistons versus Knicks rematch in the conference finals, that would have been arguably the best series we've had in recent years. In recent years, that would have been one of the best series. Like, it'd be on par right now with the Spurs and Thunder right now. With those teams and how well the Pistons match up against the Knicks, and with the revenge factor as well, the get back factor that they followed all year, I still believe that would have been such a great series. And I can't believe Adam Silver turned on the magnet in game 7 for the Cavs and not for the Pistons. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get it done. You had Cade Cunningham playing with 3 broken ribs right after his lungs collapsed, and he was still diving for loose balls. Didn't say anything, didn't use it as an excuse. He said he was fine after they got eliminated in game 7. Didn't say anything about his health. Didn't say anything. It wasn't until after the series that the GM came out, did his presser, and announced it, that Cade is currently recovering from 3 fractured ribs. On top of that, doing nothing for 14 days right before the playoffs started. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I wish we got that series. I really do. Somebody in the TikTok actually just said, and this is going to be the last message I read from the TikTok before I end it and tell you guys, if you want more of the stream, to be sure to come to the Twitch stream, because I'm going to get banned if I respond to this message. He said, another non-hooper going live talking about a sport he can't play. This shit is sad as fuck. I'm 6'4" and I am a hooper, but I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate that. Now, I'm going to say something that is going to get me banned off of TikTok, okay? So I'm just not going to say it. TikTok, if you guys want to watch this show, be sure to come through to the Twitch. Jay-Z Uncut. We're not done with the show yet. See you, TikTok. Love y'all, bro. Have a great weekend. If you guys want more of the show, we're live on Twitch. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. See y'all. You can blame that dumb fucking there, all right? Because I don't want to get banned. Love y'all. Live on Twitch. Okay, so let's continue with this show. We are done with the TikTok for the week. Let's get that out of here. That's all I have to say on the series. That's all I have to say on this game. Game 3 is tomorrow in Cleveland, so we'll see if they can turn it around. Listen, Donovan Mitchell's still a great player. He's still a great player. I'm not going to come out here and say that he's ass. He's not. He's a great player. But how great can you be when you don't make your other teammates great? And that's sort of what makes a good player great, right? Making your teammates great is what makes you great. There's a reason LeBron looks like that. There's a reason why Michael Jordan looked like that. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to make a good player great. And right now, Donovan Mitchell is not making himself great. He's not making his teammates great. And that's unfortunately what's happening. Manu, Real, and Lore Stacks. Thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Be sure to join the Discord as well, guys. That's where we host all of our watch parties. Okay. We are not doing a watch party tonight. If you guys want to host it, go for it, because I'm going out with my boys today. Justin asked a really good question. Would you classify Mitchell as an empty calorie scorer then? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I said that all year. Absolutely. He does not, Stacks. Donovan Mitchell does not have the Cavs on his back. He does not. He has 2 previous all-star centers and another previous all-star and a bunch of shooters around him. He does not have them on his back. He doesn't have them on his back. They were winning the first quarter. I don't know why I have to say this again. They were winning their first quarter when Jared Allen and Evan Mobley took their 11 shots in the first quarter. They only gave their big men 7 shots for the rest of the game. They had 11 shots in the first quarter. Between the two of them, they only had 7 for the rest of the game. How do you go? That's their fault. That is their fault. That's bad coaching. That's bad point guard play. That's bad primary ball play. That's bad team play. That's horrible basketball. That's horrible basketball. The Cavaliers have the #1 most expensive roster in the NBA. The Knicks have the 2nd most. That's on them, man. That's on them. That's on them. Liam said, I hate when people say he's the best shooting guard in the game, justifying that he's a #1 option. Being the best shooting guard does not mean that you were able to. Exactly. Absolutely. Wallace, Stacks, and Manu. Guys, thank you so much for the follows on Twitch. Really appreciate y'all. Be sure to join the Discord, everybody. We hosted a watch party every single night in the Discord. I won't be doing one tonight, but if you guys want to, go for it. I just don't understand the thought process behind, hey, when our big men get the ball, we really play well. Let's stop doing that. What are you? I know. I don't want to talk about it, Stu. I don't want to talk about it anymore. The Knicks have a chance against the Cavs. I don't think they have a chance against the Thunder when they're healthy. Marshawn, I appreciate you being in the Twitch as well. You said, question, what about when D. Mitch was going crazy in the bubble? Yeah, he was. What happened? Okay, then. Let's go ahead and talk about my stud of the night. This is pretty obvious. And again, I do need to reiterate this, Lambie, because you just brought a great point. If you're a superstar in this league, if you're making $50 million, you don't need your coach to tell you, hey, feed the bigs. You don't need that. One of your big men is making $60 million. You were winning when that guy was touching the ball. He stopped touching the ball. What happened? This is the playoffs. If you want to get buckets, Mitch, you got to prove that other people can get buckets as well. The bench, missing every shot, that's not his fault. This game was still winnable had you continued feeding Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley had 10 points in the first quarter. He finished with 14. And you expect me to give this guy any grace whatsoever as being a number one player on a playoff team? You expect that? I expect so much better out of Donovan Mitchell, but he's never shown me that he can make his teammates better. Never. He has never shown me that he can make his teammates better at basketball. A lot of players can do that. Luka Doncic can make players better. I'm not a fan of Luka. I don't like Luka. I don't like the way he plays basketball. But even I can tell you, he makes his teammates better. LeBron makes his teammates better. Jokic makes his teammates better. All of the great players in today's NBA make their teammates better. But then a specific few of them don't. They don't. Michael Porter Jr. can score points. Did he make any of his Nets better? Donovan Mitchell can score his points. Can he make the Cavs better? Can he make his teammates better? This happens every year, ladies and gentlemen. We get a prolific scorer, and it doesn't work. And I hate to say this one. Devin Booker. Is there really anything different between Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell? Other than making the finals. He can't play make either. He can't make anybody better either. Why do you think they went for Harden? It was because Donovan Mitchell can't make his teammates better. But James Harden, he's a great facilitator. Well, that great facilitator over his last 9 games is averaging 4 turnovers a game, and he finished with 2 assists last night. 2 assists. Your starting backcourt finished a playoff basketball game with 3 assists. Your starting backcourt finished with 3 assists, and you expect to win a game. My stud of the night, Josh Hart. I'm pissed. No, I'm pissed. Before I talk, I'm upset. As a Pistons fan, I wanted to see the Pistons make the conference finals. As a basketball fan, I wanted the Pistons to make the conference finals. Notice how that's the same answer? Basketball fans wanted to see that rematch. They did. But you had these magnet balls. You had 92 more free throws than your opposing team. And you were up against a lead point guard in Cade Cunningham playing after a collapsed lung and still playing with 3 fractured ribs. And it took you 7 games to pass them just so that we can have this series. Pistons, Knicks would have fed families. I don't care who you believe would have won. That would have been a dogfight. The Pistons would have made sure it was a dogfight. And the Knicks, they would have played into their hands and made it a dogfight. I'm upset because now this is what we're talking about. James Harden? I don't want to talk about James Harden in 2026. I don't want to talk about Donovan Mitchell not being a playoff riser. I don't want to talk about this stuff. I'm so sick of talking about Evan Mobley not getting enough touches. Evan Mobley's regressing. Evan Mobley peaked in his first year. Nobody's giving him the ball, man. Did you see what he was doing in the first quarter? Nobody's giving him the ball. He's making $60 million to do what? To do what? 60 M's. We're talking Joel Embiid money. Why are we not giving him the ball? Stud of the night, Josh Hart. Incredible game. I had so much fun watching him last night. In 33 minutes, he had his career playoff high, 26 points, 4 rebounds, one of them offensive, 7 assists, 2 steals. He was a plus 18. He had 5 fouls. They didn't attack him. They didn't try to get him fouled out. They didn't do any of that. And he shot 10 for 21 from the field, 5 for 11 from 3. They dared him to shoot. They dared him to score. Guess what? He did it. Just like what they were doing with Alex Caruso with the Spurs Thunder series. They dared Josh Hart last night. Hey, you go ahead and shoot that. We got 2 on Brunson. Teammates showed up for Jalen Brunson. And because of the teammates, Jalen Brunson played the point guard. He played the point guard. He played point guard. And passing takes way less energy than shooting does. Shout out Jalen Brunson. He had a great game. He really didn't have to do anything. It was a night off. It really was a night off. He played 40 minutes. But as somebody who has played point guard, I can tell you, passing the ball, much easier than trying to create your own shot. He carried them. He willed them to game 1's win, 38 points at all those points in the fourth quarter in OT. And now his teammates took care of business. And that's why I told y'all before the season started, the Knicks were my pick to come out of the finals in the East because they just have the best team on paper. And that paper team, you guys remember how I always say paper is different than the hardwood? It's because that paper is actually living up to expectations right now. Mikal Bridges is playing incredible. The team chemistry is unbelievable. It's at a peak high right now. OG Anunoby, even though his shot isn't falling right now, defense hasn't fallen off whatsoever. Karl-Anthony Towns, they had to find him a different role in this series because he can't play point center in this series, and it's working. And Jalen Brunson can take a night off of shooting and still get the win. Peak basketball, man. I apologize for clapping. Peak basketball. I love what I'm watching. Love what I'm watching. Kenny Atkinson deserves some blame as well, but at the same time, if you're making $50 million, you expect that $50 million player to be able to play his game. And guess what? He is playing his game, and his game is not getting anybody else involved. I don't know what you want me to say. If your shooters aren't shooting, give it to your bigs. Give it to your bigs who is actually going crazy. Give it to your bigs who were the reason why you were leading after the first quarter. Give it to your bigs who's the reason why you won Game 7 against Detroit. Give it to your bigs why you've won any games in this playoff series at all in this playoff run. Give it to your bigs. You're not. $60 million, Evan Mobley, you're not giving him the ball. You're not giving him the ball. You're not. 4 points in the final 3 quarters. Evan Mobley, that was the most aggressive I've ever seen him in a first quarter ever. And they soiled it. Steve-O, thank you for the big follow. I appreciate you, bro. Be sure to join the Discord as well. ! Discord in the Twitch chat. Guys, that's what y'all got to do right now, okay? Now, Twitch chat, stick around, okay? Stick around, Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. That's going to do it for the episodes this week. I'm sorry that I didn't really have a B block today, but I still managed to talk about one basketball game for 47 minutes. Nobody does it like me. People have 5 guys around the table. 5 guys. 4 guys on chairs. And they're cranking out hour-long episodes between 4 of them. I make conversations with myself. You guys bring some valid questions and concerns, which I love. I think my show is very different because we make it interactive with the chat as well. Sometimes a little bit too interactive. Shout out to TikTok chat. But that's gonna do it for today. That's gonna do it for this week. Depending on how the game goes tonight, I don't think there'll be an episode tomorrow. We'll see. If something crazy happens tonight, then we'll do an episode tomorrow. But don't bank on it. That is the final episode of the week. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, be sure to join the Discord. It's in the description, in the show notes, and the chat. Be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review, drop a like, subscribe, all that jazz. Yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all very much. I got nothing left to say except for thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching/listening. And I'll catch you guys Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, unless something crazy happens tonight. If something crazy happens tonight, then I'll let y'all know in the Discord server whether we got a show or not. All right, y'all. Have a blessed weekend.